Welcome back to the Justin Wenzel Podcast. On this show, I like to feature guests that have a story to tell, that have taken what they've been through and they use it to help other people. So if you guys like what you're seeing, make sure you press subscribe. Make sure you comment, like, do all the things to help us get our message out there. Today we have a very special guest and easily one of my closest friends. What's up? Alvaro.
I love you so much in a very straight, manly way. I got to tell you, I'm proud of your business, the way that you're growing on social media, your podcasting. You're doing everything right now, and you're inspiring me and motivating me.
Oh.
Yeah. Behind the cameras, I'll give you a big hug.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And because of you, I'm 7 months sober.
Oh, thank you. I
don't think
I can take much of the credit. You've done it yourself, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because, you know, when we first met, I didn't really see you being this way, being sober, right? And not only being sober, but being like fully immersed in it, you know. And I love this version of you. I love the version of you that drank. But both of us were probably similar in the sense that we were lovable even when we were drinking. We were just dumb.
Yeah.
How dumb did it get?
It got pretty fucking dumb. Can I curse?
Yeah.
It got pretty fucking dumb. Yeah. I feel like I don't know if a lot of people that are watching can relate to this, but I feel like my issue was when I was winning in life and good things were coming my way to drink. I never drank when I was sad or depressed or feeling, isolated. I drank when good things were coming my way. And I'm like, ooh, shot of dopamine. What can I do to get another shot of dopamine? Let's go out, happy hour. We got to celebrate because we've been killing it. Then I would go out and drink. Then one beer would lead to, hey, this girl just called us. There's a party. Call the boys. You want to go? Okay, cool. We go to a party, another beer. And I would blink, and it would be the next morning, 10 a.m., and I would open my eyes and go, fuck, I'm hungover? Why? That was the cycle. But it was never bad enough to mess up my life. It was just enough to keep me going for many, many years.
Let me ask you this. In those many, many years, did anything devastating, catastrophic, did anything happen to you?
No, nothing really happened. I just got stabbed twice, got a divorce, got a couple DUIs, got into a bunch of street fights. No, nothing really bad happened.
How much of that was alcohol related, other than the DUIs, which is obvious?
I think the stabbing thing would have happened regardless, but I was not sober. But it was from two homeless guys in the valley.
What time of day?
Exactly. That's right. That's where I knew you were going to go with it. It was after a UFC fight, and it was about 11 p.m. at night at a location called Springbok, which is a South African bar pub in the valley. And right across the street, there's a bunch of homeless tents. And maybe if I was sober, maybe I would have just walked away. Maybe not. I still have a big ego. I have to really work on that. But the homeless guys started, and instead of me just walking away, I kind of said, "What do you mean? What do you mean? What'd you say?" And it just escalated really quick.
Yeah, judgment is thrown off. I wasn't meaning to throw that in your face, but it's funny when we start to look back at all the stupid shit that we did.
I mean, it wasn't a Tuesday at 2 p.m. randomly.
Right.
It was like a Saturday UFC fight at, later on during the night.
Yeah. Anytime I've ever audited out situations or big occurrences in my life, there was some sort of substance involved.
Yeah. Yeah. If you gave me a time machine right now and you said, Al, can you go back 5 years? I don't think I would have changed anything. What makes me a really good filmmaker is the pain and the suffering and the darkness. That's what makes me a good filmmaker, a good artist. Because if I feel like I would have been raised by two perfect parents, happily married, I don't think I would have had the depth that I have right now in making movies. When I make movies, I feel like I can make people feel stuff because I feel a lot of stuff.
So let's get into that a little bit. What was your first film?
Counterpunch.
That was a boxing film.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one with Danny Trejo?
Yeah, Danny Trejo. Counterpunch was about a boxer who came from a really fucked up childhood, and boxing was his outlet. And then he got diagnosed of being bipolar, and his best friend was a pit bull. So I hit on all the things that I love talking about: mental health, dog advocate, and boxing.
And you were acting in that? Were you a writer or anything like that?
Yeah, I wrote it, acted in it, and then my friend directed it.
What's it like working with Danny Trejo?
He's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of us.
Yeah. Yeah. The next movie I have coming out is going to be about getting, sobriety and what alcohol can do. You go to a party, you're like, yeah, I'm not drinking anymore, I'm sober. The first thing people say is, are you okay? Why? What happened?
Yeah.
But if you told someone, yeah, I quit heroin, they'd be like, dude, that's awesome.
Right.
But with alcohol, you get judged. I'm like, yeah, I quit alcohol, I'm not drinking. Why? Are you okay? What happened? I'm like, no, I just don't want to be hungover and want to have mental clarity. Oh, but why did you quit? It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I get that often. Not as much anymore because I'm so outspoken about the fact that I don't drink.
Yeah.
That it's not really a surprise. I also think where you are geographically, it makes a difference too, right? There's a lot of people that don't drink here in Huntington,
Yeah.
And bartenders certainly don't look at you cross-eyed.
That's kind of the cool thing when I've gone out and the bartenders that are sober are
Yeah.
going through the steps and, are just trying to not drink alcohol. I feel like I'm being protected by them. I'm like, can I have a non-alcoholic beer? And they're like, yeah, brother, I got you. I'm like, it's like a Fight Club kind of world. Mm-hmm. And I remember I told you a story. I'm a filmmaker and I'm also a dating coach. I had a boot camp in Fort Lauderdale. It was like the first 3 or 4 weekends I was trying to go out without any alcohol and going out to party. And these girls kept convincing me, just take a shot with us, come on, come to the after party with us, just take a shot with us, stop being boring. And the bartender literally got in the middle and said, did you guys hear what he said? He's not drinking. Why are you guys pressing him? He came in and was like, stop. Because earlier on I came over and I'm like, you have any like mocktails or non-alcoholic beer? And so he knew my situation. Mm-hmm. And which is easy to get sober, Justin, when you're isolating or in rehab, like with no one. But try to get sober when your job is to go out and talk to women and be social. And for 5 hours, you have to talk to 50 to 70 people. And then you have to tell people that have social anxiety, here's how you do it. That's hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember what we talked about the other day? We were on the phone. And I had brought up, do you still get enjoyment out of it? Or are you missing anything leading up to it, right? Is there apprehension now? Is there, I could take it or leave it? Are you as excited to go into that as you were when you were drinking? Because I can imagine what it looks like before you go into an event or what do you guys call them, boot camps?
Yeah.
Before you go into a boot camp, you're probably like with your partner and with some other guys that are probably leading it up to. You're probably having a couple cocktails, sitting up probably in Miami, like in a high rise, some sort of situation, pre-gaming, right? And then you get lubed up, right? And you get all, you're stoked,
yeah.
And you're going in to coach these guys, right? And you have a little bit of a buzz, so you feel a little loose, and I'm sure that's a process. I'm sure that's a mental pregame as well.
Yeah.
And I asked you, has that changed? And it took you a second to respond. So what is your thought now?
Yeah, I think the first boot camp that I had to do sober really brought out a lot of things in me. Kind of like, am I this good with women? Am I this good with talking to people? Am I this good in social situations? Can I network as good as I thought? And it brought out like my insecurities from being a child. I was second guessing myself, which I never do. I decide to do something, I do it. And that came up for me. And so the first boot camp was a little tough, if I'm to be honest. But I didn't rely on my emotions. I just relied on consistency and data that works. I know if guys, by the way, if you're wondering like what a good opening line is when you see women, it's pretty simple. Like I use it all the time. It's like, hey guys, real quick, I'm here with my buddy Justin, just saw you guys. You guys seem like you have good energy. I'm Al, just had to say hello. That's it. A good energy opener, that line works every time. I've used it when girls had a boyfriend and the boyfriend came up right behind me and was like, hey, what's up, bro? And they couldn't do anything because I wasn't coming in saying, hey, what up, little mama, you look good. Can I get your number? I wasn't hitting on them. You can use that opener with men as well. Hey, bro, I don't know you, man. Love your fashion, bro. So your name Justin. Nice to meet you, Al. Yeah, you got a good vibe, man. Damn. I'm from Miami, bro. Everyone's fucking miserable, but man, like you can say that to guys as well too. So I just relied on data and consistency. I know how to teach people how to go into a social gathering and turn strangers into friends. My emotions were just get a beer, you'll be funnier.
Right.
Just one beer and you'll be a little bit quicker.
A performance enhancing drug.
Yeah.
I can see that. That's how rock stars are. That's how a lot of speakers are.
Yeah.
You know, just a lot of people in general, like, you know, they use it as a performance enhancing drug.
Yeah.
The problem is when you start to talk about DUIs, stabbings, things like that, that you open your eyes and say like, okay, well, that's not normal.
Yeah.
Right. And it's hard to, you know, because when we're in the moment, we justify those things.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody gets DUI. Everybody, you know, gets in fights. Like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
Right. Even but normal drinkers don't. Normal drinkers don't have to set rules for themselves. Like, oh no, I won't drink alone. Or, oh no, you know, I'm only gonna have 2. Like normal drinkers, that's just all they have. They don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Right? So that's when we start to open our eyes. So back to that.
It's true.
Here's a question I didn't ask you. When after the first one, okay, and I imagine that your job is to keep an energy level of an 11, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So where was your energy on the first one?
From a 1 to a 10, I would say like 7.
And across the board when you were drinking, you were an 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a 7. Okay. And how many events have you had since then?
10, 11, 12.
Okay. Do you find that your energy level has stayed at a 7 across the board for those? Or do you find that there are some that you're like up here, some you're a little bit down here? Is it stagnant, or is it kind of all over the place, like kind of scatter plot? Or are you really bringing it high? Are there like huge peaks and valleys?
Yeah, for sure. I think because I'm so competitive that now I've started to prepare to go out. Mm-hmm. So the last 5, 6, 7 boot camps I've done, even the students are like, bro, you're so much better than you were last year. So I'm like not even a 10 or 11. I'm like at a level 12. Okay. Because I'm doing it in spite of. Now I'm like,
you have something to prove.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, this inanimate object is better than me. And so now I get competitive. And so I prepare, right? Like everyone's taking shots. We have to go out at 10 p.m. At 8:30 p.m., I have all I need is here. And I'm pumping everyone up. Yeah. We're playing games. So now I'm getting ready. Before I didn't have to do all of that.
Right.
I could just chill, drink a couple beers. That loosens me up and then go out. Now I have to do the work, really prepare.
So that's interesting because on a different level, but still the same. When I first got out of rehab, my thing was I'm going to do the things that I used to like to do when I was drinking to see even if I still fucking enjoy them. Excuse me. As I did that, Lizzie and I were just starting to date, and we went to a music festival. And I felt the need to over-caffeinate, no. But yeah, over-caffeinate. I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder, like I'm going to have more fun than the rest of these fucking clowns that are all drinking and drugging. And I did. I brought a ton of energy. You know, we did the same prep. We picked out our outfits, all of it. And we would go into the VIP sections. I don't go into general admission into Gen Pop. But we go to the little section, the dance sections, and I would like go, not over the top, but I would dance. Like I would be there to fucking have fun and dance with people and meet people and all that stuff. And then we went to another one, and it was like the same thing, right? And I had a great time, you know. But then eventually, after like the third festival, it was like, man, you know, 2 days is too many.
Yeah.
Right? And even one whole day is like, I'm just not there anymore. We're like there is no FOMO, right? And so now I go to very specific concerts, and that's it. And now I know what I like. I know how much I can take, and still enjoy it. And not only enjoy it, but enjoy it like I did before I found my addiction, or before I found even drugs, or when I went down that road, right? When it was like, even if I did drink, I was a kid, like it was for fun and games and not to make something better.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. The problem with, Brene Brown talks about this, the problem with drinking to make something better or to make yourself more likable, happier, whatever, is that you can't pick and choose what you numb out or what you enhance. So when you start to suppress one emotion, all emotions get suppressed. So it's really hard to mimic the energy and the pregame lubed up situation, and do that naturally. Right?
Yeah.
So you really do have to get in a mindset. Now my question is how long does that last for you? Right. And you don't need to answer that, but the point is that, like, to be able to mentally prep yourself to the point where you can take it to a level 12 and be that clear, focused person, but and this is going to sting, and I don't know if I should say this on camera, but you're like 1 foot into acting writing, and 1 foot over here, and it's like I'm putting all of my energy, focus, and attention into this moment, but these moments are stacking up. You've been sober for 7 months now, and you've had 12 events, 10 to 12 events, right? And those probably take preparation, travel, all of that kind of stuff.
Well, they come here to LA.
No, I know, but you still go to Miami.
Yeah.
You know. So at what point is it like is your energy so displaced that this preparation, this passion, and newfound thing kind of levels off, and then it becomes just a job? Because that would be my main concern, is like if I were to pursue trying to chase like the enjoyment that I got out of, and force myself to enjoy the things that I enjoyed when I was drinking, I might have ended up drinking again.
I would be lying if I told you it wasn't bothering me. For sure it's bothering me, because I know I could be doing more as a filmmaker. And then the other side of that is like, well, you're so ungrateful, bro. Like,
why?
Because being a dating coach, I'm helping people. I've gotten suicide letters from people that were like in suicide ideation. I get calls, texts probably every other day. You changed my life. So I am making a change, and I do like taking a guy that's lonely, and then they have a girlfriend now that feels good. So I feel like a hypocrite if I'm complaining about that I'm not grateful for it. But I know that's not why God put me on this planet. God put me on this planet for sure is to make movies. And through making movies, I can make people feel stuff and think about stuff. That for sure is the purpose.
Yeah. We've had this talk before in front of a lot of people too.
Yeah, which we did at one of your retreats. Is that what you guys call it? One of your company, one of your events to double down on acting. And in my acting Instagram, I posted a lot more. I got an agent, a manager after we talked about that. My movie's coming out soon. It's really good. So I'm pushing more towards acting, but I haven't.
Well, you have a job too, right?
I have a job.
No, and again, the reason I'm asking you that is because I can relate to where you are at right now. At 7 months, I was in the same thing. Like, nothing can fucking stop me. You know, I'm seeing so much clearer now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's and you've heard this, I'm sure, but in the sobriety culture, we call that pink cloud. And we feel like on top of the world, and then all of a sudden life starts to get back to normal, right? Reality sets in, and the daily stresses that we used to drink to make go away, we have to actually now start doing real work. You know, and it's funny because as like the addict that I am, and I'll just be completely transparent, like I've latched on to things like, you know, caffeine and training, and like and gotten unhealthy with with the amount that I was like, of caffeine that I was consuming. And it was just because I was like going through like the motions of just being sober, that it wasn't something that was sustainable until I actually kind of like jumped into spirituality. But even then, I started to find myself latching onto the spirituality side of things, and not that that's unhealthy, but it's like, why can't I just exist and be in the moment and focus on what's at hand and bring on a level 11 energy at it? What's that part missing from me that's not missing in somebody who's normal, meaning not an addict?
Yeah. What are your top 10 favorite human beings on the planet that have made the most impact in the last 100 years, that you think have made the biggest impact?
On me?
Just in the world, on you in the world.
Top 10? That's a long list.
Just top 5.
Top 5?
Just it could be in the whole world. Singer, rappers, family members, dog, cat, astronaut, anyone. Just name anyone without thinking about it too much.
Without thinking about it
too
much?
Yeah, just people.
Let's say Dave Grohl.
Okay.
Barack Obama.
Okay.
Elon Musk.
Okay.
In the world.
I got him with this one, huh? Literally.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to musicians, Dave Grohl is definitely number one to me. Dave Chappelle, maybe.
Out of any of the people that you mentioned, or if you guys watching this, you guys did this exercise, do you think any of those don't have an obsessive personality, or don't have that other thing living in them that you described that you have? People can call them an addict or whatever you want to call it, but just like an obsessive.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think everybody does.
So would you replace, if God told you, I'm going to remove that from you so you can just exist and not latch on to caffeine and latch on to working out too much and be obsessive, I'm going to replace that so you can just modulate even. Would you want to be even?
Oh, absolutely not. My addiction's my superpower.
So that's what I'm saying, though. Like,
but it's the flow state that I'm talking about. Like, if I could be like mentally existing in the moment, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, the flow state. Got it. Yeah.
Like latching on to things to keep me there in forward motion.
Yeah.
Whether it's a distraction, a diversion to get me back on the same road or whatever it is. That's where my struggle's at.
Yeah, me too.
Is it?
Yeah,
is that ADD?
I don't think so. I think it's procrastination on what you should really be doing with your life. I think that's what it is. Is that I think that boredom kills people who are very ambitious and have a lot of energy and God put a lot in them. I think when they're bored or too much time in their hands, I think that's the most dangerous spot for a lot of human beings that have a lot in them. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's a sense of like what the war of art is. Stephen Pressfield. It was easier for Hitler to start World War II than it was for him to face a blank canvas. He wanted to be a painter. He just couldn't face the paintings. He couldn't make a good painting. He just gave up on that and then decided to do other things that were fucking horrible. My point in saying that is that I think that the things that keep me in the moment, keep me in flow state, are things that I know I should be doing more of. What is that, Al? Writing, acting on stage, acting in film when I'm not acting, keep writing. In the weekends, I should be calling you, my friends, hey, bro, let's do a skit. We're going to do a comedy skit. Like, I should be doing more of that. Because that's where I'm in flow state. I feel like, oh, this is what I was designed to do. Mm-hmm. Then when I'm not doing that for 4 months and I'm doing other stuff, there's like a void that I feel.
Is there?
Yeah, because I know that I should be doing, every time I'm acting, writing, creating, I feel in the moment. I'm not worried about the past. I'm not worried about the future. Nothing really exists. I could go, and when we were shooting The Pickup Artist, the movie that I brought you on for, they had to tell me, hey, did you eat breakfast today? It's 9 p.m. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't eat breakfast. My phone, I didn't need to know where my phone was. Even just doing this podcast now, I forget about my phone because we're making content. As soon as this rolls out, I'm constantly looking for the vape, looking for the phone. Mm-hmm. But if I'm creating, dude, I would go a whole day from 5 a.m. call time to 10 p.m. not knowing where my phone is.
Right.
That's God telling me this is you living in the moment. But then to get there, I'm a little bitch about it. I'm like, oh, well, I have to raise money for it, and I have to get a DP and a camera guy and an audio, rather than being like, why can't we have Freddie here? We have Justin. Why can't I just call him and be like, hey, let's shoot something funny this weekend? Yeah. I think consuming creates depression, and creating creates fulfillment.
Mm-hmm. Men are their happiest when they're creating.
When they're creating, when they're building.
Yeah. We've been talking about doing a film, and can I tell you, other than our friendship, you want to know why I want to do a film with you? Because I was on the set of your film, and I acted on your film. And I don't have a lot of acting experience, but I do have some. And I do have like real projects, or a real project. Can't say real projects, but I have 2 real projects that I've worked on. And one was a decent budget. I got Screen Actors Guild W-2 checks and things like that from. It was a real thing. We had a great DP, great acting cast. We had a fantastic studio in Burbank. Mm-hmm. We got flown out to Boston, put up in a nice home. Like, it was a legitimate production. Granted, they ran out of money, but it was a legitimate production. And then I had yours. And quite frankly, the other one was, big names. It was Matt Damon's DP, like the guy that he uses for everything. Mm-hmm. And it was in one of the most badass studios in Burbank, LA Castle.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know LA Castle. Yeah.
Yep, I got my own dressing room. I had my own little mini bathroom, kitchen, everything. It was badass. But when I was on your set, it was way more professional.
Wow.
Way more. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
I never did.
Not professional. You said other things.
It was way more professional. The attention to detail was really painful at some points. And I kind of chalked it up to, this is what people say when, well, that's just Hollywood, hurry up and wait. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't the case with your film. It was like, go, we're going.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that happens when you have less money.
That was a lack of money, bro. That had nothing to do with being professional. That was like, yo, we got 5 more hours to finish this. That's a lack of money. Yeah. That's indie filmmaking, where you have to get it done. Show up, shut up, and just go.
Yeah, there were some scenes that we shot guerrilla style. That was, I guess that makes sense, because when we were like, we don't have permits. We're in fucking where were we? Cape Cod, out in Boston. Mm-hmm. In like in the off season when no one's up there, but there's just cops everywhere. And by the way, American Horror Story was being filmed there at the same exact time.
Oh my God.
So like, here we are, full Sprinter vans, cast and crew, and it's true, when you have to get in, get out, it was like, we got like 5 minutes to hit this shot.
That's where it's the most fun.
Guerrilla.
Yeah.
How many films have you done guerrilla style?
17.
Oh, really? You don't pull permits?
For like 3.
Was the one I was on, did that have a permit?
No.
And that fucking kid got whacked by the camera too, remember? Or by the guy's arm.
Yep.
That was a bitch move.
Yep. It was.
So how does SAG react to that when you do it like that? I mean, are you protected still?
Yeah, we have insurance for sure. Yeah. We have health insurance, and we have insurance for the crew, the cast, but we don't have a permit. We, $1,000 for a permit for an indie budget film, that adds up. We had 4 mansions, 7 different bars. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to make the movie. We just call people that believe in a vision, and they say, I want to help this guy, and I say thank you, and that's it. I mean, they're the owner of the establishment, so it's their property.
Yeah.
But if a Film LA unit came in, they could kick us out, which we have been kicked out before.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that work?
We were doing a music video with my ex a couple years ago, and the rapper's name is Dax. and we were in Woodland Hills, and we didn't pull a permit for the mansion. The mansion owner rented it. She was totally on board. She said, yeah, film unit never comes here. They reported us to houses nearby. The film unit came on, undercover, didn't have a badge, didn't have anything. Hey, what are you guys doing here? I'm like, this smells weird. This is fishy. I'm like, we're just doing like a student film. And, you know, they kind of like a good politician, right? Like, it made me keep going until I was like, what's going on here? They're like, we're the film unit. We're shutting you down right now. And they did it with a big smile.
Really?
Yeah, like not aggressive, not at all. I'm like, so we got shut down.
Wow.
45 people there, the whole day ready to set up. Everyone had to go home.
That sucks.
Yeah.
You're really proud of pickup artists, though.
Yeah. I am.
What was the inspiration?
The dating show I was on, talking about making fun of this subculture, which I think is really funny. A bunch of guys that are coaching men how to attract women, but they're kind of a little off themselves, you know? So kind of was poking fun at the culture.
You only sent me my scene for the script, so I didn't really even know what the whole entire thing was about.
Yeah, it's about a guy who... We start the film with a guy that's ready to propose to his girl. His girl comes home. He takes out the ring about to say, I want to marry you. Will you marry me? And then she's like, I found someone, and I can't explain it, but I just can't be with you anymore. And she walks off. And the movie starts with his best friend saying, I got a date for the first time in my life last week. There's this guy called Havoc. He can teach you how to pick up any girl, how to build attraction with women. And we see a lead character fall into this subculture world of learning how to talk to women, and crazy things happen. And then at the end of the movie, he reverts back to being who he really was the whole time, just a little less needy and desperate, but still being goofy and quirky.
And that was Andy Caldwell?
Andrew Caldwell played my friend, Coxburg. Yeah.
He's pretty entertaining, huh?
He's really good. I thought everyone did a really good job. Evan Ross, I've been watching him for a while, a lot of his movies. I think this is his best performance. He's really funny and weird as a world's greatest pickup artist in a movie. I think Leslie did a really good job. She's one of my best friends. She played a very evil woman. I thought she killed it. I thought everyone killed it.
Nice.
I thought you killed it.
Thanks.
And what you said in the film is kind of like the theme of the whole film. It's like these tough guys going out there trying to act tough, and then they go out, they pick fights. They don't have the courage to talk to women, but they look tough, and they don't really have fun with their friends.
Yeah.
And that was your monologue to the audience, saying, cut the shit.
Yeah, you had mentioned that when you wrote that, you know, you thought of me, and that is me. You know, I'm probably one of you in most places I go to. I'm probably one of the more scary people in the room. Yeah. You know, and I'm not. I'm the kind, you know, and I think some people who watch this know me, that I'm not a fighter. I'm not like a tough guy. I don't act like that. It's not the person I am. You know, if I need to be dangerous, I can be dangerous, but that I'm just a big, kind-hearted dude.
Yeah.
But you do see it. And you do see it when you're in my position, when you see guys out that will size me up and or be like overly nice to me or like overly whatever, and they're all drinking, so that makes sense. But at the end of the day, that is the culture. Mm-hmm. And I appreciated you letting me do that scene because it was natural, you know. Yeah, it was really natural. It was fun.
People think acting and filmmaking is easy till they have to do it. It's really challenging. I've taken construction workers who do 18 hours a day in Miami with horrible weather, and they're hard workers, and they come on for a film for 2 weeks with me, and they're like, bro, this is really difficult. It's physically exhausting, mentally exhausting because you're dealing with everyone's ego. You have people in there that are actors, that are famous, that think they're so important. So you have to deal with people's energy, and meeting someone that does this to you. Hey Justin, how are you? Nice to meet you. How are you, man? Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Like that fish handshake. And you're like, oh no, dude. Or they'll talk to you without even looking at you. They're just like looking through you or looking away, and you're like, oh, so I have to spend 25 days with this energy. That's what it's meant. You got to be tough to be a filmmaker, in my opinion. 5 a.m. call times to we wrap at 9 p.m. And it's like, how do you balance your energy? Me drinking these energy drinks, I have to like be very careful, because if I drink one in the morning, I can't crash at 2 p.m. when people have 100 questions. Hey, Al, the gaffer truck's here. Hey, Justin's running. He's here. He got here early. What do I do with him? Oh, he got the wrong wardrobe. Hey, so Amanda said that shit. And so you're being bombarded. So now you're on film going, okay, I love caffeine, but now I have to even modulate that. Because if you have a down, when you drink caffeine, there's like a down at some point. You can't have that when people are like asking you 100 questions. So then I have to like regulate my caffeine so I don't have any down. It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a job.
And I love it, bro.
Yeah. We've been talking about doing a film. You want to have that talk now?
Why would we want to have that talk right now? Hey, Al, I want to do a film. Who is this? It's Justin, bro. I can bench press more than you, bro.
Who is this?
What time do you want to go in? Justin, bro, here's the money. Put it in. Let's start. Oh, but we're doing a podcast. Why don't we make a decision right here on the podcast? Calling you out, Mr. Justin Wenzel. Freddie, is it Wenzel or Wenzel? Wenzel. Okay, Freddie said Wenzel. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kickstart this. Okay, so when does this podcast air? You started this. Whenever it is. When are we shooting our film? When do you want to start writing it?
When I get back from Florida.
When you get back from Florida?
Mid-April.
Would you put the money to hire a writer today?
Yes.
So, today, we send the money to the writer.
Sure.
The writer starts writing it. We'll have our first draft in 3 weeks.
Okay.
In 3 weeks, I'm glad that we're documenting this, because you guys are watching, so you can call Justin a liar if he doesn't do it. Then, we're going to have a rewrite. We should have a full-blown script done before Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
We could literally be watching this podcast in August saying, holy shit, we did it. We could be shooting this movie in August.
What are we doing the movie about?
2 brothers.
Okay.
Freddie, spitball with us here. 2 brothers. I think we should do a comedy, because everyone looks at Justin. He's huge, tattoos, but when you meet him, he's goofy, very nice, quirky, just like a lovable guy. Justin's like a 5'2" white nerd stuck in a huge muscular body. So we should do a comedy where you're like the guy, like how you said, you're like an elephant. You're like scared of everything. You're like huge, but you're like, no, we can't do that. Like you're kind of like scared of everything. And then I could be the younger brother who's really reckless and crazy. And we moved to LA to pursue what? What should we be, guys? We pursue opening up a business.
Yeah.
Opening up a business.
Sure.
About what?
Agency.
An agency. Who are we representing?
OnlyFans models?
OnlyFans models. There you go. That's your script.
Interesting. Okay.
What we're doing right now takes most human beings 7 to 10 years to do.
Yeah. Well, that's what's been pushing me off, right? Is because I know myself. Going back to our addict personality, when we talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I want to do it. And then I hate talking, like just talking about shit. If anybody knows me, knows that I just go. But like, this is one of those things that I really want to do. And I didn't want to do biography and all of that. I have a book coming out. I'm not worried about that. I just dumped a bunch of money into my book. And so I wanted to do something that would have been more entertainment. And I was also looking at our network of actors and celebrities that we deal with all day, every day. And I wanted to utilize that network that we have and turn it into something special. But at the end of the day, I think whatever you and I do, because when you and I riff, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, when we've done improv together, it's like, it's easy.
Can we show the clip, Freddie, on this podcast? Then can we show the audience whenever we air this that clip
Yeah.
of me and Justin?
When we were gay lovers.
Yeah. I think it would be really funny.
Yeah.
But I think we should do something like that. Like two brothers that come from a really rich dad, and then maybe we're sent out to California to start our own business with our own money by ourselves. Something like that.
Yeah. And we're dummies.
And we're just dumb.
Dumb.
We're really dumb.
Like Pain and Gain, Mark Wahlberg,
Yes.
Dwayne Johnson.
Pain and Gain meets Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. like spending money like the Menendez brothers. Like we hit it. Yeah. I can see the vision now.
That would be funny.
Spending money like Menendez brothers. We don't know where the fuck the money's coming in, where it's going. It's a fucking clusterfuck.
You know what's funny though? What we're doing right now live on this podcast is what every artist should do. If you're a filmmaker, a content creator, or even wanting to start a business, talk about it, but don't talk too much. Take action. You took action right now. Let's give this writer money. He's going to start writing it and shit gets done. This, when you ask me when I'm in flow state, this is when I'm in flow state, creating.
Yeah.
When I'm consuming, I've noticed, and I don't know if you can relate or anyone watching, when I'm consuming, I feel the instant gratification of like scrolling on the phone and doing all that, but after it, I get hangovers from social media.
Oh.
Like I get hangovers. I know I shouldn't be scrolling at 11:30 p.m. at night. Yesterday I said, you know what? Tonight, no phone, because I'm a king. This shit doesn't control me. 9 p.m., no more phones. Guess what I was doing at midnight last night? On my phone, scrolling. I'm like, damn it. It has control of me.
Really?
Yes.
We make money from our phone.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I mean? And on top of that, we connect with so many awesome people all day. So it is tough.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you that I've been on my phone since 5 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
But I'm on the actual phone, like either on Zoom or on a call.
Yeah, and you're creating though. You're booking stuff. I'm more consuming right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm all output.
It's all like, what can you do in your life, everyone watching, what can you do in your life that every day you wake up and you can create and do things rather than consume and get things?
Right.
I think that's the trick. And trying to find that. It's like, what can we do? Because even after we do this podcast, I'm excited to do our comedy skit with me and you with the gloves. And then...
Did you bring your gloves?
Yeah, I have my gloves. I'm excited to do a comedy skit. I think
I didn't tell you about this.
Yeah. Freddie's gonna make out with a guy. You told him?
Yeah, you're going to hold the camera though?
Yeah. Oh, man. Do you think...
There he goes.
Do you think it's gay if you kiss a guy, but you're thinking about a girl?
Yes.
We got Freddie laughing. This is the kind of characters that we should do in the film. This is what I'm talking about. Do you guys remember White Chicks, the movie White Chicks?
Yeah, of course.
The two cops where they kept asking each other questions. Would you rather have sex with Whoopi Goldberg or Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah.
And then he would pick one, and then he'd be like, what about you? And he's like, oh, I don't have time for that. We have to do this investigation. Like, that's kind of the bit that we should do.
Yeah.
I think me and you playing dumb characters would be really funny.
Yeah. Stupid, but brilliant.
And whoever's watching, if you want to collab with us, hit up Justin or me on our DMs. Let's get a big group of talented people.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Jackson could be the weirdo spiritual guy that floats in the air.
Yeah.
He walks on water. Like, what are you doing, bro?
But is like still totally into OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like just pervy as it gets.
I'm like, you're spiritual, bro. He's like, yeah, but I'm still have an OnlyFans agency. Dude, we can cook.
Yeah.
We can cook some there.
Just pure hypocrisy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. I love it.
Now you got me thinking.
Yeah.
What do you think the funniest in our society right now thing to talk about is?
Right now?
Like everyone watching, if unanimously, like America can be like, these 3 things are like the funniest shit to talk about.
Well, so that would be in my feed.
In your feed? Okay, what are they?
So right now, what I've been getting a lot of entertainment out of is the videos of the predators getting beat up in like Walmart. There's a lot of like moderately, but like it's black folks saying racist stuff. That's pretty funny. I'm not sure if I should talk about that. And then, oh my God, there's a slew of Down syndrome videos that I don't know why my feed is full of them, but it'll be like a Down syndrome kid like playing a guitar. And it's the setup makes you think he's going to be like awesome on guitar, but not at all. Like it's actually really bad.
Oh my God.
And there's a lot of that.
And then the comments say System of a Down.
Yeah, the comments will say like System of a Downs.
Oh my God.
So on social media right now, that's what I'm seeing, and then all the funny trans stuff.
When you're watching, it's funny he just threw the trans stuff in there.
Well, there's a lot of funny trans stuff too out there. There's like that one girl that's like they, them, energy, and it'll be like Subaru owners be like, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like if I saw a guy that has Down syndrome playing a guitar and he didn't do well, I don't know if I would laugh. I gotta watch a video. I don't know if I would laugh. I think I feel bad for him.
Yeah. The comments are really where you go.
Oh man.
So I doom scroll and I like pollute my mind sometimes while I'm doing cardio.
Okay.
And I'll look at the dumbest stuff. There's also this guy that he tours cities and he like says everything wrong and he's like just really animated. And I really like him. His name's Ryan something. He's funny. And then what's the guy that's always on Joe Rogan? His buddy Seth. What's his name? He just hosted SNL.
Oh.
Seth MacFarlane.
No.
Seth Green?
No. It's kind of a fat guy.
Oh, is he the one that got in trouble?
I think he got in trouble recently. Yeah. Remember he's the one that's got the joke about his uncle or cousin being Down syndrome. He's like, you know.
Theo Von?
No, not Theo Von. He goes on Theo Von though.
What's his name?
Shane Gillis.
Okay.
I love him. Mm-hmm. He's great. Very awkward.
Yeah.
Very.
I think something funny right now would be politics.
Yeah.
Like how absurd it's become.
Oh yeah.
I think that's something kind of everyone's kind of pissed off about, but also funny.
Yeah, well, the liberals are like whatever's left of the Liberal Party is like hanging on for dear life and going like over the top.
Yeah,
and they don't even realize that that's what turned us all off in the first place.
Yeah,
I think what's funny about that, and I'm one of them. Mm-hmm. Dude, you never met a more progressive liberal than me, dude. I stood out.
You told me
with
that
Bernie Sanders, like I was progressive as all get up, and I'm like it is way too much. Mm-hmm. Like there's a difference between being progressive and having common sense.
Yeah.
And progressive got outrageous.
Yeah.
It's just too much. And then you start looking at all the little subcategories and these other little like items and things like that where it's like, you know, and what really now after the fact, like my mind was already made up. And I think like a lot of people who were historically Democrats, a lot of their minds were made up. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you start seeing where our money was going. And you start seeing like these guys like flopping around like fish out of water. And you realize that like we had millions of taxpayer dollars go towards testing party drugs on rats going through gender transitions.
Yeah.
Like I have to know who the guy was that like pitched that, and the guy that goes, yeah, sure, we'll write the check. And I don't know how that works, and I don't know that but to me it just seems really silly that we're spending so much time accommodating such a small amount of people but those accommodations are affecting way more people than they satisfy.
Yeah.
Right? And also bear in mind that most Democrats, and why they fell apart and why they are falling apart, most Democrats are like union workers, you know, a lot of like Hispanic folks that were traditionally Democrats, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know about your family. But I know that my in-laws are very traditional Mexican folks. Mm-hmm. And they can't stomach like guys and girls sports. Yeah. Right? They just like they're traditional people. Like they don't want to.
Yeah, no, my family too.
Yeah. So you're turning your back on these like very traditional Orthodox people that used to support you, that were your base.
Yeah.
What are you going to have left? Some Subaru owning, blue haired fucking weirdos? Because there ain't enough of them.
I find it weird that we have to even bite our tongue to talk about that we're comfortable saying there's only two genders. Like that's what I find bizarre.
I don't do that anymore.
Like
and the funny thing is I don't even care. Like if you're a dude transitioning to a woman, you're a woman transitioning to a dude. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I'll treat you the same regardless, but I'll probably call you bro. And I don't mean to offend you. It's not in like any sort of anger, frustration, or disgust. I'll just say, "What's up, bro?" Like, whatever. If you still look like a dude, I'm gonna probably think you're a dude.
But then, how do you react if that person, the bro, says, "I'm not a bro. I'm a they." Then that's where it gets kind of complicated.
I would say I don't understand.
Well, it's politically incorrect to call me a bro because I'm not a guy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get over it.
Well, screw you, Justin. I'm unfollowing you.
Fantastic.
Do you want to go on a date with me?
Not at all. Happily married.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that, I feel like that's where it got weird. That they're kind of it happened to me.
Yeah.
At an audition, I was like, bro, I didn't. She's like, or
It's an LA thing.
It's like.
So here's the deal. I personally made the decision to tattoo myself from head to toe. I made the decision to put on a ton of muscle and look extremely intimidating. If I walk into the coffee shop and somebody looks at me and is scared of me and they don't look me in the eye and stuff like that, and they don't address me the way that I feel like I should be addressed, do I have the right to be offended by them because of the decisions I made in my appearance?
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's a good analogy. You just have to be...
If you're turned off by my appearance, right, I'm confident enough to know that the people that matter are not. Mm-hmm. So I don't give a fuck what you are. Mm-hmm. Or what you call yourself and all of that. I'm going to treat you with respect as a human being.
Yeah.
But if I don't quickly snap to acknowledging the fact that there's so many they, them, it, she's, whatever, sorry. It's just not, that's not part of my daily habit or schedule.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to accommodate trying to understand what the fuck you're going to call yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Because why should I?
Yeah.
I don't expect you to do that for me.
Yeah.
Right?
But we've come to a place where it's weird to even talk about it. And people are only talking about it now because Trump won, and they're like, now I can talk about it. But we're not really talking about anything crazy. We're just saying there should be like two genders, but if you want to get an operation or whatever you want to do, that's fine. But to turn it into something else, it's a lot. Mm-hmm. My best friend is a lesbian. My other, like, bro, like, I don't give a shit.
But gay folks aren't pissed off.
No. I'm saying, like, I don't really care what you do. You like women, you like men, what you want to do. I don't care. Mm-hmm. What I'm looking for is what's your energy like, your outlook. Are you a good human being? It doesn't matter. Anything. I don't care about any of it.
Right. But I think a lot of I think there's a lot of gay folks out there, and I have a lot of friends, a lot of dudes that are buddies of mine that are gay, and they're like a lot of them are more conservative than I am, but they're like, dude, you know how hard we worked to like be seen as normal, and now all of a sudden all these things start coming out of nowhere, and like you're taking us back. Mm-hmm. you know?
Oh wow, that's a different perspective.
Well, yeah, think about it like this, like, there's black folks out there that worked really hard to like make the stereotypes go away, that worked really hard to like, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they go into neighborhoods where it's like that. And it's like, like this isn't how we all are.
Yeah.
And it could be embarrassing for a culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when there is. And like women, right? Like you're talking about the Democratic Party that spent so much time in giving women rights and empowering women and all of that. And now you don't even know what the fuck a woman is.
Yeah.
You're turning your back on the things that made you who you were to begin with.
Yeah.
A social party that was meant to be a good thing has turned into a inclusive elite club of people who actually, it's funny too, because it used to also be that like Caucasian college educated men were mostly liberal. Not the case anymore. So you're losing the Jews like completely. You're losing the Jews. You're losing the educated Caucasian men. You're losing the Hispanics by a lot. What do you have left?
They.
Them.
There. Are we gonna get banned?
I don't care.
Why can't we just fucking why can't everyone just chill the fuck out, Justin? Why can't everyone just like chill out? Just go, like, just do shit that makes you happy. Stop being so intense and let's go back to having common sense. This is getting out of control. But I feel like we're in a good direction. And,
honestly, it's funny because, I think I want to say this right now. Like I would not hang out with Donald Trump. And I don't think he would want to hang out with me. And I wouldn't, like, he's not like a cool guy. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's not the ideal person that I see as a leader, in terms of like all the like, he's kind of a douchebag and his kids are kind of douchebags. But there were a few things that led up to me like understanding what it was and understanding like why I would support someone like that. And the biggest thing is that he doesn't have to. Right? He doesn't have to do it. $1 billion or whatever he's got, even if he doesn't, he's fucking rich, right? Mm-hmm. He's old. He's got a family. Like, he doesn't have to do that. And then when he took a bullet in the air, I was like, all right, like, and that whole scene, mm-hmm. that was enough for me to be like, okay, this guy doesn't have to do it. He just took a fucking shot to the head. And he's still doing this,
Yeah, my thing that won me over, and I agree with you too, I don't think he's someone that I would hang out with, but what won me over with him is that he was different than all the other politicians, and he didn't really need a teleprompter. He'll just riff, and you can kind of see where he's at more. Yeah. You can see his intention.
Well, he has a teleprompter. Those little glass things.
Oh, he does? But I feel like a lot of clips that you see, there is no teleprompter. Like long-form podcasts with Joe Rogan, there's no teleprompter there.
Smartest thing he could have done.
Yeah, like I think a lot of times I'd rather just know who you are, your quirkiness, stuttering, you changing subject, just being a human being rather than being so... I don't trust people who are perfect all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, I think, the way that the culture is going is to more unpolished, more relatable, more boring.
Yeah.
So, no, I agree. I listen, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid now. It was, a lot's happened in the last, and even if something happens, right? Mm-hmm. Like everyone's like trying to pick apart all of it. Oh, the stock market, this and that. Well, I don't work the stock market, and it doesn't impact me. But at least I'm seeing something happen. Where like instead it was just fucking people yapping about it, just probably like how I sound when I talk to you about a movie.
Yeah. I'm not really that political, and I know that's going to sound ignorant. I just want to make movies with people that I love, create content, with people that I love, travel the world doing it, help as many people as I can, and the rest is irrelevant. I've seen this girl, I probably won't hang out with her anymore, but I watch her Instagram stories, and if you voted for Trump, you are a narcissist and you're a sociopath. And when they go that far, I just go, now I don't care about your political views. I could be friends with if you voted for Kamala, Trump, Steve, Joe. I don't care. Mm-hmm. But when she goes that far and saying everyone that voted for Donald Trump is a sociopath, now I'm like, oh, now it's going to bother me to hang out with you. Yeah. Even if I voted for Trump or I didn't, you're now like generalizing. There's a lot of people who voted for Trump. So you're basically calling every single guy in America a sociopath. Like when it gets to that extreme,
right.
By the way, just like COVID did, if we didn't wear a mask, we were horrible people that didn't care about humanity. Mm. It's like anything to an extreme is like, bro, chill out. Mm-hmm. Like, relax.
Well, yeah, but people need to cling to something, and people they don't have an identity in themselves.
Yeah.
So they'll identify with things like their political party, their religion. You know, think about the people that do identify heavy, like with like their religion, whatever. Usually they're poor. Usually they're not very educated, mm-hmm. right? The people who fully identify with something like that, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's people. It's really what it is. The people that don't have any sense of serenity, surrounding, present moment, whatever.
Yeah.
They're so concerned and attached to things that are so fucking out of their control.
Yeah.
What does that girl saying that shit on Instagram do for anything? For society?
Nothing.
That's not contribution.
Yeah.
That's you fucking whining about something that's already been done. It's
yep.
completely out of your control. Even
yep.
talking about it is completely a waste of your fucking breath, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Secret life. Find out what makes you happy and what keeps you in the moment. Mm-hmm. What keeps you in the moment, Justin?
High anxiety, a lot of caffeine, and irritation.
Nice.
No, I'm kidding. There's probably some truth to that somewhere. What keeps me in the moment? Gratitude, man.
Yeah.
Gratitude. It's like could be like something so simple as the way my dog looks at me, or a simple like walk down Main Street. Like, you know, so, some of you viewers don't know where I live. You know exactly where I live.
Yeah.
I live like in the heart of everything fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so like when I wake up in the morning and I go downstairs, if I just go to Starbucks and grab a coffee, like look where the fuck I live. In the best city, on the best strip, directly in the middle of it, with the best people around me. It's really easy to just like be really thankful for where you are.
Can you be a grateful person and be full of gratitude if you've never experienced pain or true loss or trauma in your life?
Yeah. There's people that are like blissfully ignorant or just happy all the time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't think that you appreciate things as much until it's all taken away, and then you get it back. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't appreciate the things they get the first time, and then they lose it, and then they find an appreciation later on. And then some people are just lost with that. Yeah.
It's so funny how we enroll in courses and we watch YouTube videos on how to be grateful, and we do everything in our power to chase this sensation of like, how can we be grateful? And then you look at your fucking dog and you're like, wait a minute. I think they have life figured out more than human beings do.
Dogs do.
They celebrate any win that they get. They get a treat? Yes. Going for a walk? Yes. I got to pee? Yes. I pooed? Yes. Like they celebrate every win that they have. They don't have a reason to be happy. They're just happy. And you look at dogs and you're like, we're studying all of this esoteric things, the algorithms and the way the brain works and how to be grateful and law of attraction. But then you look at dogs, Justin, you're like, even your dogs, right? It's like, what do they have planned out for the whole day to make them happy? I have to cuddle with Justin at some point today. I have to cuddle with Mom, with Lizzie. I have to take a shit. I have to take a piss. I'm gonna go mess around with that couch real quick. It might get in some trouble. And I want to go for a walk. Humans. Got to pay my mortgage. What are we doing with the taxes? Got to scale my company. Okay, I got to shoot this with Freddie. Freddie has to do this. Then I have to go to my attorney. And then Al's going to call me about the movie. And it's all these things where dog wakes up and is like, I'm going to have a great day today. I'm going to shit on that bush outside. It's going to be a killer shit. Like,
who wrote this? I forgot who wrote this, but they said dogs don't have to sell themselves to you.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things is that it's all in the greeting with the dog. You love a dog the minute it runs up to you with its tail wagging because it's so excited to see you.
Yeah.
And how different somebody will feel when you're actually excited to see them.
Yeah.
Right? Versus somebody who just, hey, that energy attracts and that energy sells itself. Dogs don't have to sell themselves to people.
That's so true. We can learn so much from dogs. Like studying why are you so happy?
Yeah.
You don't have no house, you don't have no yacht, you have nothing in crypto. What's going on here? So I just need a little bit of cuddling from my owner. Like what why? I almost get mad at dogs. I look at my dog Rambo, he's 18 years old. I'm like, why are you so happy, bro? What's your beef? He's looking at me. Do you like, you know? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about homeless people with dogs?
I mean, what's the alternative?
What's the alternative? The dog being in a shelter. But what I'm saying is...
So the dog being in the shelter. And
but what I'm saying is, like, sometimes people get mad that homeless people have dogs, but I kind of...
Then you take the fucking dog.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I'm like, does the dog know the difference? The dog is spending time with that person, right? Mm-hmm. Do they know they're not living in a mansion and they're not going to the dog park in a Maserati? Like, do they care? No, they don't give a shit.
No. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I see a homeless person with a dog, I'm like, I hope the dog has some food. I hope the dude has some food too.
They're good.
I think homeless people take pretty good care of their dogs, maybe?
Yeah, but I think they're good, and like they get me every time. This homeless guy has like the cutest dog every time I exit the 405 in Burbank, and I'm like, here's money. And I don't care what he does with it, if he buys crack or doesn't, or if I just pray that just give food to your dog. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
But it's hard, dude, for me to drive past a homeless person that has a dog and not give him money. It's like my weak point. It's just, you know.
But yeah, I mean, again, what's the alternative? If someone's going to judge the homeless guy for having a dog, then you take care of the dog. And they're not. So then they're just going to go by with their life having these like self-righteous thoughts about people. And then the other thing is, what's the real alternative? The dog gets put down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's really a non-issue.
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be like this like save homeless dogs that have homeless owners task force. Like, that's not going to ever be a thing.
I know.
You can't, you know what I mean? So what can you do? You know, hope that the dog gets fed and watered.
If in every debate this country had and the world had, when you have a debate or you have like big leaders, I feel like the room should be flooded with puppies, and then you have the debate. Just get 15 puppies and let them go around the room.
Pissing all over the room. And
just let them exist, and then try to see how that stays there. There's something about dog's energy, man, that just kind of, for me, really, really locks me in the moment. It really does.
I like that.
Maybe that's why they live shorter lives than human beings do, because they're able to be in a moment more and really enjoy life more than human beings are.
It's a thought.
Maybe.
It's a thought.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we started from lifting weights to making a movie to dogs to they. We had a podcast went in A lot of freeways here.
We had no direction today.
The direction was no direction.
Yeah, the direction was, and I think we started off with listening to that new Sleep Token track.
Yeah, and then you told me that you were very emotional today and you were going to cry in a podcast, which you haven't.
And that's not what I said.
Freddie,
I said that
Freddie,
the
can
song,
we do a tight
the
shot
song,
on Justin? So Justin, what when you hear that song, what emotions come up for you? What do you think about?
I feel inspired, and it just takes me on a journey, bro. That track takes me on a journey.
What kind of here? Let me see this. What kind of a journey, Justin?
An emotional journey.
Why an emotional journey? What makes you emotional about it?
Because it keeps me in a very present moment.
Why?
Because there's a massive crescendo. There's a lot of theatrics and emotion in the singer's voice. The cadence of the song, the tempo, just hits at a different level. I mean, just that time signature alone is insane. So you just think about what's going on in the creating process of a 7-minute song that takes you in so many highs and lows that it starts to, it makes your hair stand up on your arms. Literally talking about it, my hair stands up on my arms.
But you can't be thinking about that. That's like so logical. Like what gets your hair?
You can after your third or fourth time listening to it.
Do you think your hair sticking up is because you're like the crescendo is like that, or do you think it's like this represents Justin, who is a drug addict and went through all this and now his own studio?
I didn't dive in on a personal level. I put myself in the artist's seat. I think. Now that we're talking about it, right? There's like envy.
In the song?
In the song, there's envy that like I wish I could be an artist at that level. Right? Because it's something that's that good. This is a good conversation. When an album comes out, or even just one track comes out that's that good, that it can like bring so many different like feelings, emotions, and make you feel that in the present moment. Like I just want to listen to it. That's it. Like I don't want to listen to it and think. I just want to like listen to that song and think about it. Right? And there's a million songs out there that do similar things to me, but this one's fresh on the mind because it dropped like yesterday or the day before. That's all. But listening to it in that moment will give me a so far, obviously it'll wear off. If you listen to the song for the 10th time, it's like, okay, it loses its luster a little bit. But yeah, it works. There's a song by Ours called Broken. Jimmy Necco is the singer. That's a song that has a crescendo like that as well. That gets me every time.
When a crescendo's going on, what are you thinking about?
I don't know that I think I'm really involved in the track. Like I'm a musician though. So
okay.
Yeah, I mean that's not a good musician anymore, but I was a songwriter. So yeah, I mean I think it's just like I get that feeling of envy, like, man, I wish I could have done something this great. Right? If I would have kept practicing, if I would have kept playing, like, could I have ever been something that created music like this? And of course, you realize like, no, you're not that talented. You don't get that at all with filmmaking when you like find when you watch a film that you relate so much to the writer or the director, but in a way you're like, God damn, I wish I could do something like that.
Oh, 100%. Silver Linings Playbook, David O. Russell, what
movie.
Bradley Cooper did. I'm like, I can do that. That's up my wheelhouse, that kind of character.
Yeah.
I get inspired.
Or they bipolar too, right?
Yeah, it's like bipolar, and Jennifer Lawrence is bipolar. They fall in love. And it's a beautiful story about, mental health and getting better and all of that stuff. I look at it, but I don't think the same thing you do, because maybe you being a musician wasn't the ultimate goal, right?
No.
But when I see that, and I get inspired, and I'm like, time hasn't caught up yet. Like, I've already done this, but time just hasn't caught up. I started when I was 20. I thought at 30 I'd be famous. I'm 41. I was like, oh, this is a lot tougher than I thought. Which I've had peaks and moments of being very well known to pick up artists. I'm not a hipster, Sundance Film, but I'll do this for the rest of my life because it makes me happy.
Yeah. I love it. This was fun.
Yeah. Let's go film some comedy content.
Okay.
Okay, speaking of comedians, we never found out why comedians die so young.
That's how we were supposed to start the podcast.
Start that with that. I was waiting for
Next
that.
time.
Next time. Watch the next episode.